conflict with her call. I think I just hit record. I think I just hit record. All right. So tell
Yeah, you
me.
did.
Great. Awesome. Thank you. So I want to hear some wins. I want to hear how you guys have been doing the last few weeks when it comes to your compliance. Like, what are some things that you have nailed, like right in the face? Denise, what have you done really, really well? Talk to me. I know you're right, my far right corner. So
I'm the first one, huh?
yeah.
Let's see. I would say some wins are limiting the overtime at work,
Mhm.
sticking with my plan, not doing any eating out, and just trying to stay really consistent.
Yeah, very consistent. I love it. And not that there's anything wrong with any of that, but I know that you had a lot of like those voices. So just to expand, like feeling guilty or things like that and wanting to stay in structure. And guys, there's a really big difference between that. And a lot of times I think Denise and I feel free to elaborate. And Denise, we've had a few conversations in your check-in. There was more of a feeling of guilt if you said no, or that word around, like there was a big thing around no, and it wasn't just with food, it was with lots of things. It was like saying no, but I have to go work out, or no, this is just not what something I want to do right now. So I think that's a really good win. And I think it's important for us to understand, think for you, it was like, and correct me if I'm wrong, it was a feeling of wanting to do these things, but feeling guilty of prioritizing yourself. Am I correct?
Absolutely. The prioritizing myself is the hardest part. Everyone
Yeah.
else typically comes first,
Yeah.
like all of us,
Yeah,
right? That's how we
exactly.
all
Exactly. So I love that you have been vulnerable to that, and you've been making some serious changes. That's a great, great win. Congratulations. Oh, let's see. Christina. Oh, she's not by her phone. There she is. How are you doing, Mama? She can't get herself off mute. Let me see if I
I
can.
did it. I did it. Here I am. Hi.
So talk to me. What's been going on? That's been some pretty big wins for you, nailing your compliance. Like, where have you been spot the heck on?
I feel like my workouts have been great.
Mm,
My steps have been good. My meal prep has been good. Mindset, huge. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that shift for you. It's been a big one, hasn't it?
Big. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love that for you. I think one of your biggest wins, I think you shared it on your last call, and you just keep getting momentum on this as you went past the 180s, which was a
Oh,
place
yeah.
that
Mm-hmm.
your brain was stuck. And I think have we dipped into the 160s now?
I did the other day.
Yeah.
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 I
So
know.
180, and I love, love, love that for you. And is it, what I like to bring up about that is, the mind is a powerful thing, guys. Like the body will do and follow whatever the mind tells it to do. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's true. So if you're sitting in a space of, well, this is my weight, or this is just how it is, or any of those things, like that, the body will respond to that in many, many ways. And so I think it's super cool that you like all of a sudden shifted your mindset, Christina, and things are just rolling. And you're not, I mean, I don't mean this in a way like, are you 100% perfect? No, you've been, you come in and out, but like that consistency level has like doubled down with you. Like if you,
Mm.
I see you like you walk over here, but you're like, that's the complete difference. You're right back at
Mm-hmm.
it again.
Mm-hmm.
There's no fuck it's.
Yeah. No all or nothing kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, no
Yeah.
fuck it's, no all or nothing.
Yeah.
And really looking at it. So I love that for you. You're looking
Yeah.
hot,
Me too.
mama.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. Barb's another one who doesn't have a case of the fuck it's anymore, or the all or nothings. I love it. She's out
Good
there living.
morning.
Good morning. She's out there living her damn life too.
A win for me was random people that we work out with just come up and they've been saying, "You look good." I mean, you look, they watched me work out. I don't know. I saw one lady, she was on the treadmill and I thought, okay, you know how you're doing a set and you're really in it. Oh God, sweating, yada yada. And then you feel somebody staring at you. at you, and I was like, okay, this is getting kind of uncomfortable. And then she came up and she said, "You look so good. You're doing so good." And I was like, wow, and I'm learning to say thank you because I mean, you know what I mean? People say it, but then you kind of, I don't know what you do. You kind of just, all this stuff goes through my head of the consistency, the over and over every day, the mindset and all of that. That just goes through my brain when somebody says that to me, what I've done to get to where they gave me the comment.
Yeah. I love that you bring it up. Saying thank you is a powerful thing, but it can be very hard for us to do. I struggle with it too. Like we want
Yeah.
to say we want to well, not really. And we immediately go to all the things that are imperfect about us. Well, thanks, but all of those things. So, well, at least I do sometimes. So, yeah, I think that's huge to be able to. I love that you brought that up. Getting to a place where it's safe and okay to go, thank you, and just be grateful
Yeah,
that people
exactly.
are noticing. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's a fun place to be. I love that. Thanks for sharing,
Yep.
Barb.
Yep.
Sandy K from Ohio.
Good morning.
How you doing, Muscle Mama?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's nice to be here.
Share out shit. What's been really going well for you? What's a win, or what have you been nailing on your compliance? Anything mind shifting, mind blowing that's going on with you?
Um, Definitely the nutrition part.
Yeah.
Um, I'm feeling really good about that this week and the meal planning and even I know you had told me like this is what you're eating for 24 hours, and that was very confusing to me
Right.
working night shift.
Right.
And I don't know why that was such a hard concept, but it was like, no, I'm up longer. I need more food. No, not necessarily, because you're also sleeping during the day. And really clarifying that has just quite empowered me this week. And they had all kinds of parties this week at work, and I was able to eat my food and be happy about it. And I wasn't resentful or angry. And that was a huge, huge empowering win for me. It was small, but it was definitely huge. So,
Yeah, I don't think it was small at all. I think it was super huge, and it's normal. Like, you work a shift, right? And
mhm.
automatically we think we're up longer, and so that's why you have a coach to go, well, just do the same thing. So the aha
So
moment, I was
obvious.
like, oh, duh. Of course. Like, what? Wow. Of course. I just do the same thing. And to clarify, guys, Sandy is actually she's considering doing a competition. So we're doing some mock things, and we're putting a lot of structure in place that she hasn't had in place before. She successfully maneuvered through this program, living a lifestyle, intuitively eating, doing a fantastic fucking job of it all. And then she decided, I think I might want to level this up. So she's in a little bit of an uncomfort zone because she did things very, very well. And now I'm asking her to take her level of discipline to a whole new level, but you're doing a kick-ass job with it. And I saw those
Thank you.
shoulder presses the other day. You were fucking working progressive overload. I was like, yes, that's exactly what I need. That's what I mean when I say progressive overload. And she's pushing those weights up and she's like struggling in her video. I'm like, that's how we build shoulders, boulder shoulders. Good job, girl. Love it.
Thank you.
Oh, Rachel. I see you out there walking. You might have frozen up on me. I might have to come back to you. Oh, nope, there you
All
are.
right.
You know,
Oh,
I,
yeah.
I love to chat with you a little because you've had some pretty good wins too. I loved your check-in this week, and I loved your clarity around it. Where'd she go? I lost her. Does anybody see her? Is it just me? All right. I think she might have disappeared. Rachel's phone. There she is. She's back. Rachel, I think you're having a weird connection. I'm gonna come back to you.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I hear you now. Wait,
All right. Yeah, I don't know if it's my bandwidth when I talk or something.
I
I
can
can
hear
go
you.
off video. Let me see.
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Um, yeah. I mean, I'm still firm, like don't tell me what to do, or I don't know. Like I mentioned, like the circle sort of thing. But wins are finally like down in my weight, still at
Mhm.
my heaviest, but at my lower heaviest,
Mhm.
you know. So that's good. I see change and I see things happening, which is good. Um, and I preloaded my meals onto Fitness Pal. I was thinking I wouldn't follow it as much if I preloaded. I thought like I needed to enter meals each time I ate. That way it kept me more honest. But it actually worked the other way around. I feel like yesterday with the preloaded meal, it did keep me more honest.
Mhm.
And that was kind of an aha moment for
Uh-huh.
me. So I hope it continues this week.
Yeah. We don't hope. We know that it will. Thank you for sharing. And Rachel does not
Yes,
give her
good.
enough credit, herself enough credit. She's actually made lots of changes since she's been working with me. Maybe not the physical changes, but she's gained strength. And really, I mean, Rachel's and you can like I'm gonna lean in and say something like she struggles a lot with like that all or nothing like many of you guys do. So like we just had a conversation and what she was talking about is I'm like you're circling consistency right now. And she's like you nailed it. I can see her. She's like a hunting lion circling its prey. And she's doing the little things. And I love so much that she said that she preloaded her meals because that's something that we'd been talking about for a while. And I'm really like mic drop, guys. Isn't it funny how your coach actually knows what in the bleep she's talking about? Isn't it funny that she tells you to preload your meals? Isn't it funny that we have videos that show you how to preload your meals? And some of you are like, no, I want to do it my way. How many of you have been on an awareness call with me at one point in time and heard me say, we're gonna, well, I say me, but all of us coaches, we're gonna give you the brick, the mortar, and the rebar. And you got to build that foundation. But I also say if you decide to take straw and use it in place of rebar, that shit ain't gonna stay as strong. So thank you very much for sharing, Rachel. And you're not alone. But like she just said it, guys, mic drop. I didn't think. I thought that it would hold me more accountable. And lo and behold, when I preloaded my food and I saw it yesterday, it actually helped me. Yes, yes, guys, it does help. So make sure you're doing that. I love it. Thank you for the share. I'm gonna pick somebody random. Adriana, I see your beautiful face out walking. How you doing,
Good
mama?
morning. Walking the dog. So it's a lot of stop and go when I've got him with me. But I feel great. I would say the biggest win, there's been many, but it's just prepping my food. I hated it. I hated it. I hated it always my whole life. And now I actually enjoy it. And I gave my husband, he likes to do the supermarket shopping on Sunday. I gave him a whole list and he came back and he said, "Are you going to eat all this chicken this week?" I go, "Hell yeah, I'm going to eat all that chicken this week." So it's just motivating now. Even I had Mother's Day here. We hosted a barbecue and there was a bunch of food and I just came out with my bowl of chicken and I was happy as. So I love that it doesn't affect me anymore. I don't need to do the other things. The steps, you increase my steps.
Mhm.
And I swear to you, I will not go to bed. If I have to run in place before I jump into my bed, if I don't hit 15,000, that's what I'm going to do. So I just
Oh.
feel every day I wake up and I'm like, what's on the list to do today? So it's really just motivating every aspect of my life. I love it.
I absolutely love hearing that. And that's it, guys. We're building those foundations. And when you build those foundations, like, Adriana's talking about suddenly, and many of you guys feel like this, it just doesn't matter. You don't care anymore. You're going to show up for yourself. You're going to show up 80%. I hate the 80/20. I like 85 15 or 90. I actually believe in that. You're going to show up for yourself the most of that time. And there's going to be a percentage of time where, yeah, you're going to do the thing. You're going to go, yeah, because I just want the fucking donut. I just want the thing. But you're only doing it because you want to. And
Right.
I love what you said, Adrian. I didn't want to. I didn't want to.
And
And the
and the
other,
only thing I don't mean to, the only thing I did do was we were also celebrating my son's birthday. And so I had made a gluten-free cake. There's a lot of gluten, allergies. And I said, you know what? I'm going to have a piece. And I followed the 4-bite rule. And I was like, I didn't want it after that. I took 4 little bites and I felt satisfied. So it was great.
Ah, see, there's absolutely nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. I
Yeah.
absolutely love that. Well done, Mama. Well done.
Thank you.
And I also liked that she talked about, because so many of us have this fear of food, and I think, we talk about this lots, restriction versus structure, right? And that, like, that fear of food that she talked about, like, and her husband saying, "Are you really going to eat all that?" And she's like, "Fuck yeah, I'm going to eat all that." That's another big shift too, because quite honestly, many of you that are in a calorie deficit, and I can speak to Adriana right now, she's in a fat loss phase and she's building when she's fat loss, she's actually eating less than she came to me caloric wise and she's only been in here a few weeks. Well, I don't know, 3, 4 weeks now, but she's eating more volume of food, less calories. And so, but we get to that place, and that's how a lot of you guys show up, is eating less is more. And we restrict, we restrict, we restrict. We have this fear phobia around food. But the reality is we can't hold it. And that's when, the pantry comes into play and stuff like that. And so the reality comes, we start eating these calorie dense foods. But I love that you said that, because now, like, I'm not afraid of food. I can eat. And that's that fear of food, right? That's the difference between restriction. We restrict ourselves, but really the structure is starting to feed yourself those whole dense foods that actually are less calorie dense, but very nutritious and filling. And you're fueling your freaking body. Like, Sandy over here is eating a shit ton of food, and like she lost weight on me last week. And I'm like, God damn it. I gotta push her food more. So like, but you get to that place once your food, starts to work for you. So I love for that share. Who else has got something that they want to share? I love seeing you guys all get your steps in. I already did it this morning. I walked in the rain. That's why my hair looks like this. It looked cute before. And then it rained on me. Kate, your hair is done and looks like you're cooking breakfast. How you doing, Mama? Are you feeling better? You got sick on me.
I am. Yeah, all back. Hair is done. Yeah, when it's as Adriana was kind of talking about is I guess I'm just in it. Um, it's knowing that this is my journey. I have goals. I want to, when I get in the gym, I've got some ladies my age who are, you know, shredded. And I'm like, okay, I just have to put in the work. I just have to, I think that was the mind shift that we talked about last week and this week was, this is what it is. I'm not denying myself. I'm fueling my body. I have a goal. And what does it take for me to get to that goal? Um, and yeah, I'm sorry, I can't remember your name, who you talked about, preloading your food.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that's the key for me, because if it's loaded, that's what I do. Like, I don't go off that. Once it's on that page, that's what I'm following. If I don't log it, then there's room for, well, I didn't log it yet. Then I can kind of go off the rails because it's not logged. If it's logged, I'm done. Like, I know that's what's on my page for that day. So I think it's just, for me, it's just the realization that I'm in it. This is what I've chosen to do. I don't want to keep sabotaging that. Um, have a couple bites of the cake if you want it, and then move on. I don't need 3 or 4 bites of it. We've got cookies here from Mother's Day, and I don't want them. I don't need it because I have a goal. So yeah.
How empowering is that too, to be able to look at it and go, I don't want it. It just sits.
Yeah, I don't it's is it and for me it's always been, is it worth it? If it's like, if there was a nothing but cake, that's a worth it for me. You know what I mean? Because I don't have them that often and they're awesome.
Yeah.
But if it's a fries chocolate chip cookie, I don't need that. That's, I don't need it. So anyway.
I love that. And that's I love that you shared that. That's leaning into that 90-10%. Like there's not the denying and the restriction. You go into it, but I love what you said. Like there's a difference between, I don't know what you said, cookies and fries and then some other type of like I that's something that I don't have very often. And yeah, I'm gonna have a few bites of that. Or I made my son a cake and damn that I did a good job of that. I'm gonna have a couple bites of that. But that's the difference, guys, is and then being able to look at the shit that you really don't want. And it's about building that structure. That's the other thing that I love that you said. Like you're very clear on your goals. And this is a hard thing for us to grasp. But we're like, yeah, but I want this, but I only want to go a little bit in. And the unfortunate thing, like what Kate is talking about, sometimes there's a level of discipline that it takes to get us to the next level. And, it's something Nicole talks about. It's something that I talk about. You'll hear it is the closer you get to your goals. Unfortunately, guys, the more dialed in and disciplined you have to be. Like, if you still want to go, like, you can maintain, like, once you hit your goal, you have this maintenance, right? But if you want to go past that, say your goal is to hit 20% body fat, you get there and you're like, score, I'm there, right? And you were miles away from it before. And you probably, if you were miles away from it before, it was a little easier to get that. Who started this program and saw weight loss very quickly, or started with me and saw weight loss very quickly? Let's say that once you started with me, few of you, you drop, and then as you get going, I get in my DMs. I only lost a pound this week, and I'm like, yo, a pound a week is normal. You're gonna plateau every once in a while. You're not always gonna see the scale go down because it's this journey, and that's it. The closer you get, the more momentum it becomes. You have to get structured, or if you get to a place like Kate is talking about, she can maintain like great, and she's getting stronger and seeing more definition, but she's got some bigger goals of where she wants to lean out more and more. And like what she just said right here is that she understands the reality is I got to turn up the dial. This is on me. I have to, and that's the way it is. The closer you get to your goals. Jen, as she competes, Sandy, as she decides to compete, the reality is, and that doesn't mean you guys are competing, but it's an easy thing for me to compare to you because the closer they get to a stage, the more ridiculous and radical their nutrition gets, the more disciplined they have to be. Like there's no room for freaking error because they're so close and things just got to get dialed in and dialed in. It's the same thing, but a different concept in a bigger way. Does that make sense? Like they have to get leaner and leaner and leaner. And it's not about restriction. It's just some of them eat quite a bit. Jen flew into peak week pretty much eating the same thing, but the level of discipline that she had to have, she couldn't falter. There was no room for error to get her there. And that's kind of what Kate's basically saying, that, she's definitely got more room for error than if she was going to stand on stage. However, that's kind of like it. The closer we get to the goals, the more disciplined that we have to get. Make sense, guys? And it doesn't have to be that way. It's then you have to be okay with the process going a little bit slower, I would say, like not as, and not even slower isn't a word. It's just you're going to have a few more plateaus as you're going down.
Yeah, it just, and it takes time and discipline and because again, like you don't see the progress, but then, if your coach puts a side by side, then it's like it's slow progress, but you are making progress. It's just different, if that makes sense.
Totally different. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why we use those side by sides. A lot of times I'll come in when I hear you guys saying there's no progress, I'll pull out where you started and show you where you are. And you're like, oh, well, damn. I guess my waist is smaller. I guess this is smaller.
Yep.
Rachel, I did the same thing with her this week. I'm like, well, yeah, you plateaued a little bit, but let's put these side by sides. I'm like, look at your little waist, like weight isn't going anywhere. And that's the other thing too. You guys got to remember scale doesn't always play the game. Super important. Like in the beginning, I think that's the other thing I'm saying is remember in the beginning, the scale, you got a lot of water weight to lose. You have a lot of things that are just kind
Yeah.
of releasing out of your body. And as we move along, the process of body fat reducing while muscle is increasing starts to plateau you guys. I'm a perfect example. If you follow my story and how I've been posting on social media, like my weight has not changed in over 2 years. Very, very small amount of change. Like we're talking less than 5 pounds, and I'm drastically different than I was a year ago. Drastically. My physique is way different. Specifically a couple weeks ago. Like I've gotten extremely tight, and I'm only 4 pounds different from where I was 2 years ago. That's it.
Yeah. And that's a good point too, because, oh, I was listening to your podcast this morning and, like you talk about like weight is, your organs, it's water, it's muscle, it's fat, like it's all of these things. And so like, I think we get so hyper focused. I'm guilty of it too on the scale and the number. And we forget that it's, we have to look at our body composition and the way that we feel.
Body composition. That's a
Yeah.
good one. Exactly. Write that down, guys. It is. It's about body composition. It's not about weight. And it's how your body is changing and the shapes that it's taking. And as you lose body fat and the muscle starts to give that shape, your composition changes. Your waist gets smaller, your legs get smaller, your arms get, more defined. All of those things happen. Yes, it's body composition. It's what you see in the mirror. It's how your clothes are fitting. It's all of those things. And like a lot of you guys brought up, you're eating more food. You have to. Those are the things that have to happen in order to change your body composition. You got to fuel it. And so restriction, and that is something we talked about on the podcast. Restriction can get us to lose weight, but weight is all those things. And a lot of times, if we're losing just weight, we're losing muscle. And all of you guys have hit it. Like I'm looking at Barb looking at me right now. She's still dropping too, but she's dropping at a slower rate. And I was just thinking about her the other day. I just saw you looking at me, Barb, in the Zoom, and I was thinking, you're going to come to a place where you're really going to start to plateau. But that doesn't. I was just looking at your body composition the other day in your check-in, and I was thinking, she's about to start to plateau a little. You may not like to hear this, but you're getting close to it, but your body is going to continue to change. And like that's what was going through my mind as I was looking at her. Her body will continue to change, but it will start to change not so much in a weight wise, but more of a composition size. And it's already doing that. And a lot of you guys will get to that place too. And that's okay. Because it's about muscle, and that's where people say muscle weighs more than fat. Well, the reality is a pound of muscle and a pound of fat weigh the same damn thing. All right. So when people say muscle weighs more than fat, no, a pound is a pound. But if you look at the shape, and I don't have my two little things to share, the muscle is more dense. So a pound of muscle is smaller than a pound of body fat, and that's the difference.
So I just have a question about that. So the composition will change, staying with the same new meal plan.
Yeah, and not always. Like your macros may have to change. Who knows? Like you could get to, and that's it too. Like you continue to fuel your body, and then yes, your body will change on your macros. Sometimes if your metabolism continues to go up and you have to eat more food, I mean that'll factor itself in as well. But many of you will get to a place where you are, Barb, where you're satisfied with your food, you're doing pretty good. And so yeah, your macros would stay the same pretty much. And you'll continue to change body composition. But it's all about but that's where strength training comes in, all of these things start to play in. Like Are we doing progressive overload? Are we working the right areas? You keep jumping around like it's because people are leaving the Zoom. That's why I'm trying to follow you. It's like all of those things factor in. It's just a really big, and that's where us as coaches are looking at all those things. What do we need to do next to continue
Okay.
to see your body composition? But yeah, you're in a pretty good place right now. Mhm.
Okay.
I know you just changed your nutrition too. You started following another meal plan too. And
What
that's, hmm?
I think I'm gonna wait till we get back from Florida because I've got the foods and I've got them clicking and ticking and you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
here. So,
And I'm cool with that, guys. If you want to continue to eat, like I said, it's about your macros. So, you have a couple of different plans to pick from. It's easier for you to have those guides to tell but I'm cool because they're all about the same macros and I get it. I'm like that too. I don't like to change it. I like just keep feeding me the same goddamn food. I'm cool with that. I'm weird like that. I just don't. I've been eating. I was just thinking that this morning. I was like, the bad thing about eating cod almost 3 times a day is my house always smells like fish. I'm like, oh, that's the only bad thing. I love cod, but I'm like, my freaking house smells like a fish. Don't come visit me. All right, I love this stuff. Guys, Stacy, oh, she's driving. Can't talk.
No, I just parked.
Oh, well, welcome to your first Convos with Jules, your first awareness week, all of the fun things. She just literally started her awareness week and her assessment. How you
Yes,
doing?
I'm actually at the gym ready to do my second day. So,
Woo! Well, you got any, I know you're just halfway in here. You got any celebrations or wins you want to share with us?
it's gonna sound weird, but on logging everything that I eat, it's feels so bad, but it hurts so bad, but feels so good.
Mm,
To realize that to a certain extent, I've been self-sabotaging myself, thinking I haven't been doing that, and so now I've got a lot more, I guess, confidence that this next 6 months will be the change of my life.
I love that. And I guarantee you there's several women that can come off of mute right now and tell you their awareness week was the same thing for them. And that's kind of why we call it, you got people clapping for you right now. And that's it. You learn, and you don't know what you don't know. And I love that you said that, Stacy. And that's one of the reason why, remember on our call, I said we're already habit stacking you. And that was one, I didn't want to tell you what I was doing, but that's one of the things we're creating, that habit, that awareness around food, getting you to start to track. And guys, you should all hear this because the reason why we started you tracking food in the beginning, even as you guys get guides and structures, are to keep that awareness. Somebody just said pre-logging their food is the win. I know Rachel talked about it, and then somebody here, oh, Kate said if she doesn't pre-log it, she just called it out. She's like, And I guarantee you, if all of you didn't register with what she said, you're full of BS. When she said, if it's not in there, oh man, I didn't track it, I can have it. Y'all have been there. I know you have. And that is the reason why. But take what Kate said and then couple it with what Stacy just said, being in her awareness. This is why we teach you this. Because if you hold that awareness around what's going, I don't think. I'll grab a handful of almonds and toss them in my mouth and say it was just a handful of almonds, and then 3 minutes later do the same thing again. But I'll tell you what, if I'm tracking that shit, damn it, Jules, you just ate 1,000 extra calories. It still happens. Jen is dry. It still happens to her. She and I just had this conversation on her check-in. I'm like, what's going on here at night? She's like, well, if I should be honest, and it's it doesn't always affect it, but that awareness. So Stacy, thank you for sharing. And that's part of it is that, and then you're aware. I think Jana was another one that had a huge awareness. She showed up in my inbox and she's like, oh my God. She was like, I can't believe what I thought I wasn't eating. I don't know if that's a good way of saying it, Stacy, but that's exactly what she said. She said, I can't believe what I thought I wasn't eating. She said, I swore to you I was eating 1,200 calories. She wasn't. One day she was almost, and I don't, she'll call it out because it was there. She called it out on she was 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. She's like, one day I almost hit 3,000 calories. She did. She tracked it. She's like, I almost died. She goes, and here I am telling you I'm eating 1,200 calories. But that's it, guys. We don't realize it, and you're eating. And the funny thing is, and I'm glad you brought this up, Stacy, because if you're looking at what you're eating, I bet you're like not eating much. That's the other thing. It's calorie dense foods. So now these guys that you hear say, are you going to eat all that chicken? Like they're eating all of this food. They're full, you're satiated, but it's that flip that we do with what you're eating. And now you're fueling your body and you're full. I love these wins. They're great.
I think too, after doing the program and coming out on the other side of it, um, now it's, and I was a number one hater of tracking food. And I'm sitting here laughing at myself because I used to think that pre-logging was cheating. Like, oh, my trainer is going to think that I am cheating if, my coach is going to think I'm cheating if I already have my dinner in there and it's 9 o'clock in the morning. How ridiculous, right? But that's what I used to think. However, the awareness and the finding out, oh my gosh, this is how many calories this is, and I still feel like garbage, versus now I can say, oh, this is what this is. I can, not as much now, but in my maintenance phase, oh, I can have that piece of cake and it's not that bad. So it actually gave me a place of control, I think, within my eating and within my macros, and then also being nutritionally full and having nutritionally dense foods. I'm not the binge eater that I did think I was. I was just starving because I wasn't eating good, solid, healthy foods. I was eating junk that amounted to way more than what my foods are now. So hopefully that rambling made sense. But
No, it totally did. I actually want you to expand on it because you used the word maintenance phase and cake.
oh, yes.
Yes. So no, but I want to ask you, but leading up to that, you built structure and new habits, didn't you? And
yes.
then you had that food freedom.
Correct.
And but what you learned up into that was you learned about foods, you learned how to fuel your body, you learned what foods kept you satiated. And yes, when you were in that maintenance phase and you maintained, I'm going to guess between 1 and 2 pounds, maybe up, down, that's where the freedom came in. And let me ask you this. Did you have the cake every day?
No. I didn't, but I didn't want to. I didn't feel like I needed to. I went on a cruise, actually, a 7-day cruise. And although I didn't really track on the cruise, I knew what to eat and how to eat it. And I felt so great the whole time. I went to the gym every day. And guys, that is not me. That was not the Sandy a year and a half ago. So
this is powerful, guys. This is you say, and I hear you, but Nicole says. Some of you have said, but Nicole says 80-20. She does. But this is what we're talking about. That comes when you build the structure around the 80%, which I prefer to say 85-90. Like you get that piece of it. You wrap your head around it. You have a strong understanding. You're pre-logging your food. You know how to fuel your body. You know how to satiate it. And then that's what comes. And guys, go listen to that podcast that we did. We talk a lot about that in there. But you start to learn that's what Sandy just talked about. She went on a cruise and she didn't track and she intuitively ate, but she just knew. Guys, that's what happens when you build that structure. It just happens. When you lean in and you just habit stack and you trust that we are stacking you in the background, suddenly you wake up one day and you have these new values. That's what you're talking about, isn't it, Sandy? You woke up with new values, things that you valued before shifted and changed and you didn't even know they were happening. And then you did. And it's just, that's the way it is. And the majority of the time, you are literally being fairly structured, pre-logging your food, eating the right foods, and that small percentage of time, you don't give a fuck. That's food freedom if you have the piece of cake. You don't give a shit because you know you have a structure behind it. You only eat a little of it. Somebody just talked about the 4-bite rule on here. They were like, yeah, I had the fucking cake. I had 4 bites of it. And the reality is I didn't want anything after that. I mean, that's it. Like Nicole and I think she posted in the group 3 donuts. I don't know, some damn donut place she dragged me to in Las Vegas. I don't even like goddamn donuts. And went to the donut place. We got 3 big ass donuts. She posted that in the group. Do you want to know how much each one of us had of those donuts? We each had 1 bite, maybe 2 out of our favorite. That is it. And then those donuts sat there the rest of the time. Her husband, I don't even think her husband ate all of them. He came and ate a few of them, but they were still there when we checked out. I remember checking out and seeing the box there with donuts still in there. The old Jules, just like all of you, would have probably went and finished those fucking donuts off. I didn't give a shit. I had a bite. 1 piece tastes like shit. She thought it tasted good. I was like, yeah, that one ain't too good. I don't like it. I had a bite of another one. Both of us agreed it was good. Then I had a bite of another one. This is good. She's like, no, that's shit. She didn't have another bite of it. Like literally, that's how it went, guys. You know that, and so thank you for sharing that, Sandy, because that's powerful. And she went through this program, and that she nailed it, and that is the goal, and that is why we tried to build this foundation up with you. Now she's taking it to a different level, and now she's in versus being in maintenance, we are getting much more structured and detailed, but she's got a way different goal now. And that won't be her life forever. That's just right now. Now she's just seeing, well, how far can we take it? And Kate, wherever you are, that's kind of a little bit of where you are as well. It's like, how far can we take this bad boy? And that's like where you have to. So Sandy can maintain and she can go on a cruise and she can do it. And Kate, you can do the same thing. You can maintain and get stronger and physically and do all the things, but you two are in the same place. You want to take it to a new level. Damn, there's a new devil. And I like to say this, guys. It's one of my favorite sayings. If you've never heard me say it, every level has a new devil. It's the way of life. It doesn't matter if it's financially, personal, fitness, health. When you reach that level, don't ever think it's who in here has ever reached a level of success and that's it, done. Nope, there's a new devil there. So every level, there's a new devil. And whether you choose to create that devil or it just happens, it's there. And that new devil is a new thing to conquer. So like, I don't know if that helps you too, Kate, because you two are kind of in a very similar boat. Do you want to get on stage and compete? I don't know, you haven't told me that, but you want to look like that. So that just takes this whole new level of discipline and commitment. And unfortunately, a lot of it relies on nutrition. I can't change that. It's the same with me. If I want to stand on stage, if I want to get ripped and cut, I mean, most of you would say, I'd like to look like you, Jules. That's my goal. And I can maintain this sucker easily, eating the donuts. But if I want to take it to a different level, if I want to look jacked as fuck on stage, if I want to bring myself in for a photo shoot, you want to know what changes? One little thing. My nutrition. That's it. It gets so dialed in. My nutrition and my water. Like I don't miss. I don't miss my steps. I don't miss my nutrition. I don't miss. But it's a choice, and that I'm not saying that's with you. So I love what you said, Sandy, and I only brought that tail in because that's the next level. But nutrition is always the thing. All right, guys, does anybody have anything else? I love these shares. Cindy, I saw you roll in and I knew you had something that you wanted to talk about on this Convos because you told me in your check-in. Are you in a place where you can talk? I just saw you roll in. I'm going to ask you to unmute. Going once, going twice. Maybe she has messaged me. Do, do, do. Oh my God, that's my big win. Can't chat. Hi. Similar to Sandy. Okay. We'll have her share on our next call. She told me she wanted to talk about something. So next Tuesday in the evening, we'll let Cindy share. Who else is in here? Letitia, you are at work. Kim, I'm assuming you're at work. Barb, I'm assuming you're at work too. Cameras are off. All right, guys. Well,
I'm at work, but like I'm just half doing things.
Well, how are you doing? Like, I would love you to share a little bit because you're brand new too, but you've had some pretty big self-discoveries too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I told you, so last week was my like very first week and I was away for 5 days for work and I was like, oh my God. So the one thing that I love is I didn't go drink and eat all the bad food and stuff. Like I still had to eat out a lot just based on the circumstances, but I made such better choices than I would have 2 weeks ago. So that was really good. Yeah, so now I'm like dialed in on my reset phase, which is good. I like it except for like I'm struggling. I said yesterday with my
Oh
chicken at
God,
lunch.
Jen is here. Is Jen still here? Yes, she's driving. I don't think she
Okay.
saw your tag in your post.
Okay. Well,
I
we'll get to
tagged you in
that
the
another time.
community, Jen. Letitia reached out to you. She needs to understand how to cook chicken better. I'm like, Jen is your girl.
Like everything else is great, just getting through my lunch. I'm like, ugh, I need to learn how to do this better.
No, well, you're here. Does anybody have any top tips for Letitia to cook her chicken better? Completely forgot about that. She doesn't, she needs moist chicken tips. Crock pot, right? Does anybody use a crock pot?
I just throw it in. I buy pre-diced chicken
Mm-hmm.
because I'm way too lazy to actually sit and dice things.
Mm.
Pre-diced chicken, and then I have Kinders. Just choose whatever seasoning I want, and then I will use a little bone broth if I need to have a little bit of moisture in there, and I just don't cook it that long. I just get it and just enough. Is it super moist? Not necessarily, but with the rice and the veggies and other stuff that I'll put in it, it's fine. But it's just for me, it's seasoning. So that's
Okay.
my
Okay.
that's my only advice.
Yeah,
I
I think
definitely
I
cook
said
it
that.
too long.
Yeah, I think I said that to you, Letitia, because I remember Jen saying that too. She doesn't cook it all the way through because you got to think about it. You're heating it up. I think that's what Kate's saying too. You're heating it up, so if you cook it all the way through, it might dry up. I don't know.
So I use the frozen chicken sometimes, but so I'll put it in the microwave and thaw it out. Sometimes I don't even defrost it. I just put it in there and get it to where I want it and get it in the oven. But then there's water in it. And so I just drizzle like, the seasoning and then I'll do the no sugar. What is it, Daddy Hinkles or whatever, or Head Country no sugar barbecue. And I just put it on top and throw it in the oven. And so what happens is the water seems to get a lot of the heat, but the chicken gets the heat. And then I have a thermometer and it just has to get to 165 degrees. Sometimes I'll do just 160 and then it'll finish cooking afterwards, and it's been really super duper moist cooking it that way.
Okay. Good to know. Well, thank you.
I was
You're
gonna
welcome.
I was gonna suggest chicken thighs. They're always tender, but if you still have to stick to breast, I recently did them in the Instapot for 8 to 10 minutes, and they stayed moist all week long. I couldn't believe it.
Instapot is really good too, guys. And if you use chicken thighs, you guys just have to remember if you're tracking it, you're going to notice that the macros are way off. That's all. You just got to remember that your fat will be off because a chicken thigh has more fat than chicken breast. So, but Chicken breast, that's a really, Barb just said that. The Instapot or the crock pot will do your chicken breast the same way. I think Jen does that too sometimes. And if you stick in the barbecue sauce or some type of liquid or bone broth, I used to do my chicken in like in a crock pot too. It'll keep the moisture in.
Thank you.
You're
Yeah,
welcome. There you
I
go.
posted
Chicken
some
health.
ideas. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I probably just didn't see it. There's
I did it early this morning when I saw it, and
okay.
then Nicole posted like how to do it on the smoker.
I saw
Because
that
if
one.
you,
That sounds
yeah,
good.
yeah, and I just like whoever said like it's just all in the seasoning. Like salt away. If you don't have high blood pressure, salt away and get all that
Okay.
seasoning in there. And I do it different ways, and then I batch cook it, and then I just stick it in the freezer, and then that way it's ready to go for the following week. So
Okay, thank you guys.
you're welcome.
You'll be a chicken pro after this. Or you can do what I do and order it from a meal prep company.
I was gonna
Lazy,
start Googling that.
lazy girl way. I can help you out there. No, I really can cook. I just choose not to. All right. Well, welcome to your first call.
Thank you.
I see a lot of you guys gotta go. This was a great call. If you don't have anything else, guys, I will post this to Convos with Jules. It was good seeing you guys. I'll see you next week in the evening.
Thank you.
Welcome. Peace.